So I was watching the Senate clip between Mark Mullin and this Sean O'Brien guy. Very interesting little beef. I went back, found all the beef and everything leading up to it. I do find it very funny that like some bald guy with glasses, like some out of shape bald guy with glasses, is calling like Mark Wayne Mullin of all people a fake tough guy. It's like you know I don't think if you look at the two guys. I don't think Sean O'Brien is the guy you're gonna call the tough guy. Listen, I'm not gonna go into like American politics. I know fuck all about either of these guys outside of a few things. Obviously, uh, Sean O'Brien is a part of the Teamsters, so I'm not gonna speak too gulp. I'm not gonna speak too negatively about him. I have watched The Irishman, so uh, I like not being missing, so I won't say anything negative about Sean O'Brien here. Nah, just kidding. I don't give a shit. I don't live in Boston. But yeah, no, going back onto it, they were talking some trash in the Senate, which is one of the greatest things I've ever seen, by the way. Like, I don't know, just to hear like that trash talk. We in Australia we get a lot of trash talk like this, like with the opposition leader and the prime minister. Like the opposition leader called the prime minister a glass jaw, which was really fucking random. Like he was like, the prime minister has a glass jaw or some shit. It's like it's very odd fucking trash talk, but fuck, I don't mind. But I would like to see this fight between Senator Markwayne McMullen or Mullin, sorry, versus Sean O'Brien. Now, how would I have this fight going? I mean, it's a pretty fucking easy fight to predict, if we're being honest. Markwayne sorry, I keep going to call him McMullen for some reason. It just sounds right. You know, Markwayne McMullen just sounds like a fucking Chad name. But Markwayne Mullin, is an actual former MMA fighter. He has fought MMA. I did watch his fights. Obviously, he didn't fight the greatest guys. There's different sources of how good his record is. You see a lot of 5-0, but Tapology only has him listed at 3-0 for some reason. So I'm not quite sure if there's like two unregistered fights, which probably is the case because back in like 2006, 2007, or in earlier, a lot of fights didn't get registered on records. So that generally could be the case that just his fights aren't registered for some reason. Even Brendan Lockray just a couple months ago had a fight like added to his record from 2011 in Greece. So even 2011, there's fights that are still getting registered to this day from like 2011. So I'd imagine he is 5-0, but can't find anything on that. But he didn't beat the greatest guys. One of them was like 1-9, and then he beat that same guy again, and then beat another guy. But still, who the fuck is Sean O'Brien fight? He doesn't have a combat sports background, to the best of my knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like the Teamsters versus like fucking Mark Wayne Mullin is like boxing versus mixed martial arts. I feel like O'Brien would be more of like a boxing fan. Where is this guy from? Is he from Boston? I'm just assuming he's from Boston. O'Brien is a union guy. Where is he from? I don't know. Nothing comes up here. Teamsters. Actually, I'll look at his. It says he lives in Washington D.C. So yeah, I got no clue. I guess he lives in Washington D.C. But still, I think they need to make this fight happen. I think Mark Wayne would just fucking smoke this guy though. If I'm being honest, no politics or anything. I don't know anything about any of the policies or anything. I don't know if the Teamsters are good or bad. I don't live in America, so ain't anything to do with politics. Uh, maybe they'll schedule a fight and then Markwayne Mullin will literally just go fucking missing. Unrelated matters, legally unrelated matters. You never fucking know. I've watched The Irishman. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Mark Mullin's got some fucking balls. Obviously, he isn't watching his fucking Robert De Niro movies enough, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like if they actually did have like a charity match or something, I just can't imagine Sean O'Brien getting absolutely fucking smoked. Uh, You know, I don't know how old fucking Sean O'Brien is. There's no Wikipedia page, and I can't really find any details. I just know he is the Teamsters boss. So it'd be interesting. It'd be an interesting matchup. You know, in this weird fucking part of politics and combat sports intertwining. Why can we not have all these American politicians fight? You know, there was two Brazilians fighting. I think it was like a mayor and his political opponent or something. They fucking had a fight in Brazil. You know, how fucking cool is that? I wish our politicians would scrap. That'd be fucking sick. You know, we actually had a prime minister who was like I think he was like an Oxford's boxing champion. Like he boxed in Oxford, and there's like a video of him like, or a photo of him like fucking TKOing some guy who's like freaking old as a boxer. Like that'd be fucking sick to see some like fucking politicians or some union bosses like fucking scrapping it out. Why fucking not? You know, politics is boring. Politics is AIDS, man. It's like, you know, whatever side you're on politically, it's always fucking, you know, you're gonna upset somebody. So, you know, why don't you bring some more spectacle to it? More people would care about the country if you just, I don't know, why don't you just fucking scrap for whoever the president is? I'd rather see, you know, Donald Trump and Joe Biden fucking scrapping it out for the presidency. You know, the way they talk at the fucking, I was gonna call it a press conference. You know, the way they were talking at the debates. You know, that's more trash talk than you get out of fucking most fighters. Like, you've never seen Wonderboy talk trash to someone like that, but you got politicians using fucking fighting words. Like, come on, man, let's fucking get this shit done. Let's get some politicians in there. Let's get them to fucking scrap it out. Do the man dance. You know, let's show that you know, let's find out who's got the toughest politicians. Let's have a fucking politicians fight league. Why the fuck not? You know, we're getting into this point where soon we're gonna fucking start having gladiators in the Colosseum again. We're gonna start fucking feeding losers to lions. Why not? Let's have all the fucking politicians scrap it out. I want to see Biden versus like Putin. You know, size advantage for Biden, non-dementia advantage for Putin. There's like, I don't know. There's plenty of advantages. You know, you could get in these matchups. Who else is there? Maybe we get fucking. Who's good? Get George Bush in there with like the leader of like Al Qaeda or some shit. I don't fucking know at this point. I don't know. I'm fucking waffling here. Get him in. Get Benjamin Netanyahu, the fucking Israeli president. Get him in there with the leader of Hamas. You know, the winner fucking secures the Holy Land. Like, let's fucking get creative with this shit. Let's scrap it out. Let's fucking find out. Bare knuckle Netanyahu versus the fucking Hamas leader. Let's get it. Let's find out who's really about that life. I'm talking out of my ass though, but I do think Markwayne Mullin would fucking give Sean O'Brien the hands. Like, he's fucking in shape for one. He's in shape. He's a former fighter. He has trained. Obviously, I think he's actually a legitimate like fucking high collegiate wrestler. So like he could probably just maul O'Brien. I can't imagine. You know, I could be wrong on this. I could be making some assumptions, but I don't think Sean O'Brien has been practicing his takedown defense. You know, he doesn't look like a guy who'd be fucking stuffing and sprawling all of Mullin's takedowns and fucking breaking him against the fence with body shots. You know, can you imagine fucking that bald guy, fucking O'Brien, like fucking teeing off on him? He says, "I'm not." I can imagine him yelling at him, fucking, "You're talking like a 12-year-old bully wanting to scrap. Is that the only way you sort things out?" He's fucking just clobbering Mullin against the fence. No, I don't think that would happen. I think Markwayne Mullin would fucking smoke him in any aspect of a fight. Like, I don't think that's controversial. Maybe I did see some people actually legitimately picking, uh, what's it called, O'Brien to win, but like obviously they just don't like Mullin's politics. I get it. You don't have to. You know, I get you're going to be a bit biased against the opposing side, but let's be fucking realistic. You know, like Mullin would not lose to some fucking little fat guy. Uh, oh god, I'm gonna get fucking whacked. Nah, but you know, he wouldn't lose to some little guy like fucking Sean O'Brien. You could just tell, like Sean O'Brien would. I doubt he'd be able to scrap. You know, he's a union boss. Maybe he did. You know, back in his day, he was fucking handing out the fucking ass whoopings outside of like the bars or something like that. You know, maybe he had to whoop his way to the top. Who knows? Maybe. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know how it works to become a union boss in America, but still, I want to see this scrap. I think they should make this MMA match. Fucking make it 5 rounds. maybe Game Bread can host it. Let's get it. Bare knuckle MMA. Markwayne Mullin versus Sean O'Brien. Oh my god, I feel like Mark Mullin would literally do some unspeakable things to this guy, but I don't know. Like I say, I don't know. Sean O'Brien is a dark horse. We don't know anything about his background. We don't know how many scraps he's had. He could be like a fucking undefeated street fighter for all we know. He could back in his day. He could have been fucking Kimbo Slice of wherever he grew up in. He could have been fucking Kimbo slicing people in the fucking backyards of Boston. He could have been handing out them Boston weapons. Yo, the Boston Car Bomb. He could be. That could have been his nickname, Sean the fucking Boston Car Bomb O'Brien. You don't fucking know. Who knows? This guy could be a fucking ass whooper. Or this guy could be a fucking badass for all we know. But anyway, I'm talking out of my fucking ass. I just wanted to fucking add on to this topic because I don't know. It interests me. I mean, it probably doesn't benefit the American nation that these guys are talking shit like this. A fucking union boss and a senator, but hey, fuck, like Bernie was ruining it. Like, come on, Bernie, fucking, this is the fucking new era of politics, Bernie, somebody should have told Bernie to sit the fuck down. Let these two scrap it out. Should have just let them brawl it out. But he comes from a different time, I guess. Back in the fucking 1200s when Bernie Sanders was like a young man. Uh, fighting in fucking fighting in the fucking Roman Senate was just not fucking allowed. So I guess he's following the old age traditions and everything. But still, I want to see this scrap. Do it for charity. Everybody wins, and it'll be entertaining. It's like. Yeah, why the fuck not? Like, I don't know, it'd be great for the sport. It'd be great for entertainment. It'd be great for the country, I guess. One of them gets their ass whooped. If you're on either side, whatever side of the political spectrum on, you'll probably be happy with one of them losing. So, half the fucking country will be happy and the other half will be pissed off. So nothing really changes. But anyway, that's all I've got to say about this. So thank you for watching. I'll do another video tonight, like a legitimate fucking MMA video. I just wanted to talk about this topic because I did find it interesting. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. So yeah, cheers. If you made it this far, just give it a like, please. Helps me in the algorithms. And let me know your thoughts on this potential banger matchup. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.